Looks like there's a new guy in town, and it's Upol filler primer. How well does it fare to the others? We'll leave it to yours truly to put it to the test. It's in today's video. It's coming up next.
Waiting for the exhale. I toss my pain with my wishes in the wishing well.
All right, what's up guys? Back at it again. It is DW Darkwing Dad. Today we're gonna be trying out Upol filler primer, but before we do that, chickens are getting so big. Look at these guys. They're gonna be pooping out eggs before you know it. And why do I include the chickens in the video? I have absolutely no idea. Some of my other viewers and subscribers were like, "Dude, you got chickens?" And I'm like, yeah, they were in the video. Don't you watch it? And they're like, of course they don't. Everybody just skips through that. Well, this guy's over here just looking at me saying, what the heck are you doing with them birds? Anyways, we are going to be testing out filler primer by Upol. It is available at AutoZone. So what we got to do right now is jump in the car, go to AutoZone, and pick it up. So let's go.
Can't breathe, I'm waiting for the exhale. Toss my pain with my wishes in the wishing well.
Upon arrival, I was pleasantly pleased to see just how much they had in stock. They have all kinds of different bonding primers, filling primers, sandable primers, all kinds of different paints, clear coats, everything. So I'll definitely be trying out some more of those in the near future. They also had Evercoat glazing putty, which I never tried, but I'm definitely going to give it a shot. Of course, I'll let you know how it turns out. All right, so now that we got this stuff and you kind of had a look to see what AutoZone has, it's like O'Reilly and AutoZone, and I'm sure Advanced Auto Parts are really starting to stock up on some of these products we as makers can use, so we're not depending so much on Amazon. Here we go, Upol filler primer. What I'm kind of looking for, because of course I did zero research on this, I don't know if this is going to be solvent based, lacquer based, I don't know. Touch dry in 20 minutes. So I am going to, oh, look at that, there's a QR code. Maybe we should scan it. Yeah. By it saying 20 minutes, I'm thinking this is going to be something similar to duplicolor, hopefully closer to Bondo filler primer. I've heard a lot of people, they complained about some of the duplicolors. I know when I did the duplicolor Fantastic filler primer, it took forever to dry. It was well over an hour, so that's a real time killer. So I'm going to scan this. I don't know what parts I'm going to sand. I don't have a lot left. We're going to use something generally small here, or maybe this elbow piece. That might do it. We're going to have to prep sand them, so we're gonna get all those set up, but I'm gonna check out a little bit more on this Upol. I'm gonna get some things set up and then let the testing begin. Set up here, scanning the QR code on the bottle does absolutely nothing. All it does is take you to AutoZone's website. So it basically just shows you all of the products that AutoZone is carrying by Upol. As far as instructions go and testing this, I'm just gonna do with what I know and how I've tested things in the past. Directly on the bottle, it says to sand it with 180 and 240. It also does mention an adhesion promoter. Because we're using plastics here, we're gonna do things a little bit different. You don't necessarily need an adhesion promoter. I'm gonna go ahead and hand sand these with 80 and 180. These are really old printed pieces that really aren't printed that great. I'm gonna make them look great with post-processing. We're gonna really put this filler primer to the test. Just get these guys prep sanded, and then we're gonna get to applying the filler primer and just see how well it does.
Forgot from depression. You use my past and my memories as a weapon.
I just set my spray booth up here just because it's super windy outside. I didn't want the wind kind of taking away from the Upol actually landing. I'm just gonna do basically the same amount of coats on all of them, see how long it takes to dry, see how well they sand, and just kind of give my general view of them. I'll probably have to repeat this process 2 or 3 times before we can really see how well it fills it in to a liking, but just after a few coats here, we should see some good progress. So I'm gonna throw my mask on, start doing some spraying, see how this does. Early thoughts while spraying this filler primer, it didn't need too much shaking. It sprayed very consistent. It wasn't too runny, it wasn't too thin, it wasn't too thick. I'll talk a little bit more about comparing other filler primers in the next slide here, but pretty controlled. It laid very even. I tried putting this one on a little bit heavy and there really were no runs. I did notice in some sections though, if you do put it on too heavy, you'll get small little bubbling. It's called fisheye. So don't put it on too heavy. Just do nice, even, controlled coats, and we'll even see how well this fills some of these deeper defects here further on. All right, so I applied the filler primer. The first thing I noticed is the Upol spray bottle here. It has a different tip. I don't know how much of a difference it makes. It's not like the traditional blue tips that come in the Bondo and the duplicolor, but it's not the same as on the Rust-Oleum. It applied very well. I actually tried to get it to run a little bit on this black piece. I just put it on heavier, and it didn't really run. It's kind of a combination, consistency wise, of Bondo and duplicolor. Bondo, if you put it on too heavy early on, it tends to run. The duplicolor, it's a little bit thicker. This was kind of in the middle. The directions say to sand at 180 or 240. I'm gonna cut it down the middle, and I'm just gonna hand sand these at 220 and see how they do. I mean, this stuff, it definitely dusts up just like Bondo filler primer. So this might be very good for all you people who can't get Bondo, or maybe had a bad experience with Rust-Oleum or duplicolor. This is almost exactly just like Bondo filler primer with the amount of dust. Let me actually show you. I've got this shoulder piece right here. This is all Bondo filler primer, and I'm just gonna sand this right here. I know this is silly, I'm showing you dust here, but look at the dust buildup is almost identical. Finding the right filler primer it's so crucial. Putties are great. They're definitely an important stepstone when you're finishing your 3D prints. Did try to look up the MSDS on this filler primer. Unfortunately, they did not have anything yet, so I'm assuming this is a pretty new product. The only MSDS they had on file was their High Build 5, which this is not the same product. Based off of what that had in it, had some acetone, some ketones, benzene, it had talc. I can only assume this has similar additives. What I'm getting at is this is a solvent-based primer from what I can smell and what I can tell. It's not clumping. The 20-minute dry time, I mean, it's completely dry. It creates a lot of dust, which is good and bad. The fact that it's creating this dust, it means that the solvents are being evaporated fast, it's drying fast, it's basically just leaving behind the filling agent. So I'm gonna sand down the rest of this area and this side little elbow piece here. Put a second coat on and then just see how well they look.
This can't be real, is it fiction? Something feels broke, need to fix it.
Early findings when sanding this filler primer, you know, it's filling really great, and it doesn't need an overly aggressive sandpaper to get this knocked down. 220 and 320 is what I experimented with, gave really great results. Obviously on the recoat here, it's filling in even more, giving really great results. I have a really awesome feeling about this filler primer.
Help, do they listen? I'ma be alone until it's finished. This is the part.
And here's just a short example. You know, this is after a couple coats of the filler primer. We're just attacking these pieces with 400 and 600, and this is really all you're gonna need to do the last coat or two on these pieces when using this filler primer. It just sands super easy. The benefit to this is you're not gonna gouge your models. You're not gonna have to use multiple different types of sandpaper. You can see here just how well 400 grit is still leveling and smoothing the piece out, all while filling in those low spots. Even here with 600, it sands super easy, effortless. So this is really huge. You don't need anything too aggressive. You don't have to wet sand it, worry about reintroducing new solutes like water and having issues with adhesion or anything like that. Really great solvent-based filler primer. Really solid results.
Yeah, I just told y'all my secret. Yeah.
And right here after our last coat, like I said, you can't knock on these results. It fills really well. Obviously, you do have to do a little bit more prep sanding. You have to do a couple rounds of sanding and applying the filler primer, but real quality filler primer. For those people who may not have access to putty or just like using filler primer, this is definitely gonna be one that's gonna fill a lot better than Rust-Oleum, Krylon, things like that. Dries super quick, sands super easy. You won't be disappointed in this one. All right, guys, well, there you have it. That is a first look at the Upol filler primer. You know, overall, I'm very impressed with this product. It doesn't really surprise me because I've tried so many other Upol products and they've worked really great. You know, I was really happy to see that they're, you know, finally kind of breaking into some other products for more of the DIY community. It's something that's nice. You can just go to the store, grab it, and get awesome results. You can tell from the comparison there, it is very similar to Bondo filler primer, which is also something that is, it's just like a breath of fresh air. You know, I constantly talk about this product. There's some people who, you know, really want to get this product. Just sometimes Bondo filler primer is just not available. So having this is really awesome because obviously there's AutoZones pretty much in every city, but you should be able to go right on AutoZone.com, order this stuff. Of course, if there are Amazon links, I'll be sure to drop those and share those with you guys. Definitely a great replacement for Bondo filler primer. I know a lot of people are trying to get away from the Rust-Oleum, get away from those water-based filler primers due to dry time and performance and filling capabilities. Other people I know have mentioned they've had some issues with the duplicolor. This really is great. Seeing the results, you go pick this up, you won't be disappointed. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, of course, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, or you've already beat me to the punch and you've tried Upol, go ahead and drop any tips and tricks, or go ahead and give me feedback and drop me a comment and let me know what you think. If you're a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much. I do appreciate you guys stopping by and watching all of my videos. If you're not a subscriber to the channel and you enjoy all things 3D printing, cosplay, DIY, Marvel, Funko Pops, all the stuff I'm doing on the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button because I have a lot more videos on the horizon. That's it for now, guys. I'm going to get back to that list of things that I'm constantly trying to get done. Give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, click the subscribe button, and until next time, DW out. Later.
Sometimes I don't know how to feel.